whatever. So we're having one small change, but it's for the best. And I'd rather do it iteratively like this, so that we can go, okay, this works.
If y'all are Lawbringer or Nusha mains, please comment below.
We can go into it. Nice. But first, we're gonna start with Lawbringer, right? So Alex, you're gonna want to guide us through Lawbringer a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Excited, so first thing that we did is to look at the character's flow, because I know all you Lawbringer main out there probably don't like the flow. If you guys don't know,
really much flow,
Lawbringer cannot chain lights together. That's all gone.
That's all
now.
Gone, right?
Oh, light. Same thing. Top.
Freedom.
Freedom is
there.
That
looks weird,
cool here, and like
oh,
when I think about it, like we actually ended up doing new lights for that light chain.
Heavy finishers.
Yes,
oh
and it's pretty complicated working on older hero.
Yep. Whenever we change one of the initial heroes,
I'm always like, I want to work on that one because even the data is pretty old as well. So they were really designed in a way that
just triple light chain.
It's hard to. Moving part is a bit harder.
We've gotten a lot better at it.
Yeah. We're getting better at it.
Oh, I love that, man.
Exactly.
So we got like unlocked chains, basically.
Exactly.
What else do we have?
You can press anything you want. You're gonna be doing your chain, and you're gonna be able to get to those finishers a bit better than before.
Hell yeah.
Another thing that we did for the flow was to add combo lights after heavy. So if you press a light after a heavy,
nice.
you get a fast light guaranteed.
And
you can access your finisher much more easily.
I think they spent that top heavy
basically what it is like I think every one of those lights are only on the opener heavies, right? And on top heavy finisher.
Exactly.
Right.
It was just on top heavy finishers before, which didn't really make sense. So we were like, let's reshuffle it. Putting it on the opener, that works super well for the flow. But then we missed it on the top heavy finisher. So we did. Why don't we keep it? Let's just keep it as a way to reset the flow, and then you can keep chaining if you finish into that.
Yeah, because I find what's like Lawbringer really shines with his finishers.
Oh, right? He's so much better.
Big, like unblockable attacks, crazy things, big damage and everything. But then
it just keeps going.
It's so hard to get to them in a lot of situations. That at least with this, you have way more opportunities to get to them.
Exactly.
Dude,
and like as for most heroes, unfortunately, it's kind of like most of the time you will want to do your side finishers just because you can clip people in group fights. How. Like, that's an extra way to make you want to do the top heavy finisher. Then the other thing that we did, that we're like not done with the flow.
Not done with the flow.
We gotta make it even better. So we took a look at the bash in the chain. As you see, it's a new animation. So shout out to Michel for doing all of those animations. I heard that those transitions were quite a piece of work.
Difficult.
Exactly. So now the bash is slower, but you can find it. So either you go bam, you get to your light,
dude, Lawbringer's gonna be so much fun.
You can do basically whatever you want. You're just gonna.
Let me know if y'all want me to get Rep 70 Lawbringer.
Yeah, terrifying.
Oh my
That's
God,
super cool. Like honestly,
so
I find that like the flow that we have there with Lawbringer is so much better. And having that bashing chains look different, right? So we wanted it to look different so that you don't feel it's the exact same one that you do off a front dodge.
Right.
But at the same time, you really do feel it's a different attack. And because it's feintable, again,
I want to know what they did with the long arm, though, because it's there, but it's not
adding more flow. Not necessarily adding on dodgeables. Like I know people are kind of tired of the orange-blue mix-up type of thing. Right. So we're trying to do things a little bit differently. We saw with Valkyrie where we did something completely different. With this, we're going back to something that we know is proven and works. But at the same time, like heavy feint to guard break or heavy feint to parry, Lawbringer is a parry machine still. So you still want to get parries off a Lawbringer, or you want to get guard breaks, because now if you do get a guard break, guess what?
Sorry, I had to plug in my laptop there for a sec.
Well, you still want to get parries off a Lawbringer, or you want to get guard breaks, because now if you do get a guard break, guess what? You get a heavy that combos with that combo light that goes back into your finisher.
Oh, that looks
so it's
janky,
always
though.
trying to go forward in the hero's
So
chain
24
and really
damage,
have that
okay.
flow go really, really nice.
So they nerf
Wow.
the damage and they give it to
Nice.
that light finisher.
cool.
Nice.
So is that it for
man.
flow?
I think so, yeah.
All right. So what else do we have in the
Oh
pipes
my
of this
god, this is phenomenal, bro.
We can take a look at long arm next, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to get a
Long
lot.
arm, yes!
So
What'd
for
they
long
do to it?
arm, there's something kind of weird on live where if you do a long arm and you attack, if you don't keep chaining, you get guard broken.
Oh yeah,
Now
that's true.
we tweak the timing a
Get
little
used to
bit
it,
more,
just spam
and now
guard breaking and get you.
you're basically
It's
always
still
safe.
slow though.
So I can counter guard break. I'm safe throwing that move.
23,
so
27 damage off
It's
of
still the
long
same move otherwise.
Okay.
Same startup. Can't find it.
I mean, I get it,
It's
'cause it still looks
a dedicated
slow,
move
so they'll be able
for
to dodge it and everything.
for
But if they
ganging
get
up
hit
on
by
someone,
it,
basically.
It's their fault. and it's
And we felt
pretty
like we
nice
gave
amount of damage, I think.
quite some good openers to Lawbringers, so maybe it's fine that this move is not one of the openers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
One of the things that we've done recently, right, in live, is speed up the front dodge bash, and with the actual
And he
timing,
gets top
the side
heavy.
attack when you dodge.
I didn't
it actually
even
gives,
realize
like, a really
that.
nice
He gets
mix-up
a
there
top
off of front
heavy
dodge
off of
without
arm
adding
as
like
well.
a dodge attack on top of that or whatever. So it works really, really well. And I think that's it. That long arm being more of a dedicated, almost like ganking tool, guarantees you damage if you land in a 1v1, then you're not, because it used to be so bad. If you land in a 1v1, you had to overcommit to get any damage out of it. And so with this, it feels a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to talk about Impale next?
Yes, Impale next.
So you get a top heavy.
For those who
Oh,
don't know,
Impale
Impale
next.
is the sprint attack or
So
the
yeah,
parry
top
into
Off
side
full
heavy.
splat.
Right? Yeah.
So what we did for Impale,
Still 1
the
damage.
move is quite good on live.
Yeah, it's really, really
It,
good.
it leads to a lot of damage,
Yeah.
which is kind of incredible for a heavy parry. So what did we do?
What the hell?
We're like, okay, we're just gonna follow the rules. It's gonna be an opener now. If you reach the wall, bam, so you can go into your chain. But the chain attack now deals 20 damage. So basically, what we're saying is, you get your heavy parries on the side. You do your impale if you want to ledge them, or if there's a wall, it's pretty good as well. But we don't want you to be doing it all the time, basically.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's another change
and
too
it's
that
got
you
hyper armor
released a bit
too.
earlier. Like, let's get off Aura.
yeah, exactly. Now, if you do get it a bit earlier, before, yeah, release, no wall stumble.
Yeah.
So back on live
wall
before,
stumble.
you would
Oh,
wall
okay,
splat,
cool.
get your top heavy in,
So that's a little
get the
nerf there,
stun
but I think
was
it's
really
necessary for these
frustrating on
changes that he's
receiving
got.
end.
Yeah.
So now
No
we
wall
changed
stumble.
this a little bit.
Okay, cool.
It's still good because you still wall splat someone, you go into your second heavy,
Yeah.
and then you get that super strong
Yeah, the really,
finisher
really
mix
mix
up.
up.
So
Yeah, but
Lawbringers finally got hyper
this here
armor,
is
y'all.
really a case of
Y'all welcome.
like if you're gonna use it, like you really have to wall splat and hit the wall with it. Because before you could, let's say, release it a bit earlier, it's still super strong. You can still ledge people with it. You can still do all that stuff with it. You still get one-shot kills if you're really lucky and you manage to ledge somebody or put them into a trap or whatever. But at the same time, these do not happen anymore if you release early. So you don't travel for as far with this. So there's a lot of changes here that make a lot of sense.
So it's like you
where
really got to
we had
commit
to,
to it.
to
You
change
can't
that
just,
after the Lawbringer a little
like,
bit because he still
stop
is a
it
parry
early.
specialist. Still has a lot of different
Excuse
things
me,
on
and they
parry,
don't travel
but
very
not going overboard with
Nice,
this
nice.
at this moment.
Right.
Exactly.
Uh,
So talking about parry,
Yeah, talking about-
go into
Parry
the,
punishes?
the,
Oh
the
boy,
nice
I bet they
quality
nerfed
of
him. I
life
wonder if they
change.
nerfed him.
yes.
So we took a look at all of the parries. So what we did is, now the light parries are doing a bit more damage than before. Because before it was pretty low, so you would
Oh
never
god,
really want to do
16?
them. And then go into your finisher.
Okay, that's cool. What was it before
Also,
though?
the top
They
heavy
said they,
now
they said they made.
is also a chain opener. So you can combo.
Oh my gosh.
So if you do get a light parry, that's
16 damage.
probably
That's quite a bit though, right?
that super strong option that you want to be doing.
I wonder if they're
gonna
gonna
stun
nerf that.
them.
Do a
I
light
feel like
parry
it's a
here.
little much.
Just take our word for it.
Yeah, that's
For a
right.
heavy
So-
parry
It's
light.
still guaranteed off a life parry. It's just like right now, this is super scary, right? Because you get an attack that stuns into a combo into a big unblockable afterwards.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
hyper
It's-
armor
it's-
too.
it's
yeah,
so
like,
super
Lawbringer
scary. I
is
think
gonna
it's
be
the only
very
source of stun
strong.
that we
I
have
feel
left
like
on Lawbringer.
everything
Yes,
is really
exactly.
cool about it.
That was
I
another
just
frustrating
don't
part to the
know if I
character.
agree with
Every
being,
single
like,
top heavy would stun, and
They deal
the light
16
parry was
damage
fun
off
as
heavy
well.
parry.
So basically, you're just fighting and you don't see anything. Like you just what is going on. So
Lawbringer's
all
gonna
of this
be
is
freaking
gone, but
awesome
we
though,
decided
now,
that it was still kind of an iconic part of hitting someone on the head with a hammer. So
That's fair. That's
we keep it on the top heavy parry. Yeah. So basically now, whenever you parry someone, you're not always going for that impale. You have to have some situational awareness. Is there walls? Is there ledge? Do I want to go for the light?
I feel
Am I in
like
a group
that,
fight?
that
Am I
heavy
going for
parry
that
light
big
should be nerfed,
opener
though.
if I get a light
I
parry?
think it should just be a
So you
regular
get
light,
you
like
get,
just
you,
12
you get a lot
damage.
more choice than before.
Options,
you already
I think,
get a lot of
is
them
what we
blocking
talked about.
pressure
That's
before,
the thing,
Yeah.
right? It's
More
always
faster
we always
heavies.
want to push more towards options for player agency towards. Well, there's not
I
one
think it's a little bit
absolute
strong,
best
but I
follow
think
up
it's very,
every
very
single
cool.
time to every single situation. Now, like we want to make sure that you have a bit of choice. If there's no ledge nowhere,
It's a little bit
before you would
interesting
still
too
try
that
to
you
do
get
it because you
top
can
heavy
release
off
early,
of
maybe get
impale
lucky, hit something or whatever.
and long
But
arm.
now, like you really
Long
want to
arm, it
like,
makes
okay, I'm
sense
gonna
because
do
it's
my
very
light
slow,
instead
but
because
off
it leaves
of
me
wall
to other
splat,
things.
that's.
If I got a
I
light
wonder if
parry,
it's
I'm always
more
gonna do a
damage
top heavy.
Rework's
So
is gonna go
you
for
kind of
the,
get into
I
a
think it's
situation
23
where,
damage, right?
well, depending on what's going on around you, depending on what's happening,
think it
you
is.
get different options, and you get to choose which
Off
one
top
is
heavy,
best
off
for
wall
the
splat.
situation you're in.
So it's like 20.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, so then we have a bit of quality of life stuff, right?
Yes, exactly. So we decided to take a look at the chaining properties because we want you to be doing your strong chains with the Lawbringer. And since he's a parry specialist, like he's good in group fights, we took a look and say, you know what? Let's just do increasing properties on the chain. So now, if you want, you can go into your chain heavy, and as you see, there's armor on it.
Hyper armor, yeah. Awesome.
That's pretty good. And then the last one, it's armor plus unblockable. Oh no, wait.
So I
Right,
wonder
yeah.
if you just
So
spam dodge
basically
attack, that you'll
super
be able
hard
to
to
catch
peel,
him.
right?
If he just does a light heavy.
That's the idea here. It's like we want to make sure that because often enough, one of the problems that we have is
Because he
that
just
the
caught him a
second
couple
attack
times
when you have
there.
3 hit chains, and I know a lot of players actually always. I often read like people wanted to like reworks or whatever, and you go, oh yeah, let's give this hero like a 4 hit chain or a 3 hit chain instead of
Oh
a
my
2 hit
God.
chain, and it is fun, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody denies that it's super cool to have like multiple hits in your chain, but at the same time, the middle hits often feel really, really, really bad.
Right.
Because we need to have properties, we need to have like reasons to use them. That's why often we have like shortcuts to finishers or things like that. So
Yep.
by having armor, at least on those heavy,
Lawbringer
on
needed
those
that.
second heavies, what's interesting here is that you can actually use Lawbringer in group fights, use those big pole arm trajectories, and keep using those heavies, target switching and doing all that sort of stuff with less chance of getting peeled. People can still bash you, of course,
Right.
but you still get like in those situations where it's a lot easier to use those attack, and they actually have a much more interesting purpose than what they used to have, which was nothing. And then, well, it just felt bad. You landed a heavy.
He's got
Like,
a lot
oh,
of
well, I got to do a
hyper
bash
armor,
because if I don't do a bash, then
He's
where am I
kinda
going to
like
go? What am I going to do?
He's
So
got a
you
lot of
didn't
hyper.
really have that option. So now, again, it's about expanding those options and making sure
Berserker
that
still
people have
has more
access to
hyper armor because he has
more
like
things
lights
with the
on his
heroes.
hyper, like hyper
Exactly.
armor on his lights.
So now you have all of those cool properties.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh no, he's so strong at offense. I'm going to do some dodge attack. Oh no, he's a parry specialist.
Yeah.
It's like-
That's
so
what's scary.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So then one last thing we did, right? Is
Yeah.
enhanced lights.
Yes.
Right, so-
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it? I'm going to go over it a little bit. Yeah.
sure.
So essentially,
excited for
the
Mission
hero
2.
has like on live right now. Lawbringer has enhanced lights.
Only on the side.
Only on the sides, right? And so with the way that the hero has like ways to open up opponents now, I'm really bad at blocking when I'm talking. But yeah, so the way the hero was like beforehand was, well, he didn't really have openers before we did that change.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we had enhanced lights on the sides to make sure that, yeah, okay, where can we go? And then the more we played with it, the more we went through it, the more we're like, you know what? We don't think he needs them anymore.
Yeah.
So we removed them in the testing grounds, see how it feels, see how it goes, and then again we'll get a lot of
Oh,
feedback. We'll
they
see how that
removed
goes.
his
We also,
enhanced
I
lights.
think at some point we tried a bunch of different things, and this one felt like the most natural. Right? You have a good opener. You can use long arm to potentially like mess up people. It works really well. You have like
Now you have
good
light as
You have
well.
light as well. So we really try to open it up, but at some point we don't want things to feel overly oppressive
Right.
and overly
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah.
So we're trying to.
Okay,
Sometimes we have
okay,
to do
so
like
that's
little
sort of
adjustments
like
on the
where they did
downside
the
like
nerf
this.
there.
Same for the chain heavy, for example, that deals a little bit less damage.
cool. That's cool.
Because it's what's guaranteed when you walk
I do
past
think that
somebody.
that heavy
We want
parry
to
in the
give it
light
like,
is a
you know,
little
like a
much,
follow
though.
up there
But
that made sense. and we didn't want to go like overly nuts on
It seems
animation.
so much- he seems so much
it's
more
a
fun to
super
play.
challenging aspect to
Yeah.
do
Yes, of
Holy
course.
when you
crap,
manage to land the wall
terrifying.
splat and getting dedicated stuff there. It's
Get
very,
ready for
very
4
complex.
stack lobbies
So
of Lawbringers
we're
now,
trying
everybody.
this out, see how that goes, and then have something really good there.
Great.
Then we have one final change, which we
Just
took a
one
look at
more?
the zone attack.
Ah, yes.
So,
Zone attack, alright.
If the players don't know, Lawbringer has quite a spicy zone attack on
Yeah,
live,
yeah.
Very good, yeah.
Slow,
Like heavy parry.
but it has a
into
very,
unblockable
very
zone
good
with hyper
trajectory,
armor, yeah.
and it has
Almost no recovery.
no recovery.
Yeah.
So you're basically throwing that move, and you're super safe. It's even to the point where like you're hitting some superior blocks, and like you're able to parry the
Yeah.
follow-ups and
Wow.
stuff like it. So it's quite spicy.
I've seen a lot of compilation videos doing that.
Yes, so what we did is we took a look at it. We're like, okay, so this is
So
like
they
the
made
big
the recoveries
keep
better.
away move, like stay away from me. I'm doing my huge sweep. But then we just made the recoveries normal,
Okay.
but it felt quite bad because it was just a nerf. So
Sometimes
we're like, you
recoveries
know what?
are okay before.
It's a group fight move. Let's allow it to go into the chain. So you get access to like those armor moves.
I was
And,
not
you're
expecting
right if you
that.
want to.
A chain of
So, just a new way to get into the
light
chain.
too.
Exactly,
Oh
right? So
my
yeah, so
God,
new chain
bro.
and new ways to enter your chains,
That's
but
cool.
slight nerf, right? Because if you don't chain,
Yeah. Then
There's no hyper
gotta
armor
dodge
on
it
it
out,
either,
see on
you
it,
know, and
right?
he doesn't
So
have enough
that's the
recovery
big thing
to
here. Like,
parry
it's
Dusha's dodge
slightly
attack.
lower safety, but you can chain. And then as we
Nice.
saw here,
I
you do it
was
again.
not
I'm gonna do a dodge
expecting
attack, and I hit the armor there. So
Oh.
you still gotta be careful. It's
Yeah,
still
you can't just
right?
you can't just spam
But that's
dodge
It's
nice.
so
attacks
spicy. Just a
anyway.
little,
Yeah,
little
just a
less
little bit
But I
spicy,
mean,
I
if he
think that's about
doesn't
it for
go for the
Lawbringer.
hyper
yeah,
armor,
that's
then
pretty much it.
Right, so
Lots
it's,
of stuff.
yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
can't wait
You
for people
got
to
him.
try it out. And then I'm
That's
gonna go
cool,
over
man.
Nusha a little bit. So again,
hear
I want to
Nusha
make sure
too.
that people understand it's a step-by-step process. We want to do Nusha right. We did Yorm. We took our time with Yorm. We're still taking our time with Nusha. And one of the big questions we had with Nusha, with internally, and a hunch that we had was, do our traps work? And we've been debating a lot internally about them. And yeah, what do we do? Do we remove them, convert them into something else or whatever?
Right.
But at the end of the day, traps are what Nusha's identity is about, right? It's she's the only one with that mechanic. It's super cool. It looks
Yeah,
great.
looks amazing. Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of situations where, like especially at high level, players try to like emote out of it, throw lights to
Yep.
beat those trap attempts. If you don't have superior block lights, for example, like if sometimes Nusha just throws out a heavy and you just do like, and then you can kind of read, you can react to the trap animation.
Yeah, Nusha,
But it becomes,
I
like,
heard,
a bit
learned
tricky.
recently.
So what we ended
I've been
up
playing
doing
For Honor
is
for like 6 or 7
to
years
see
now.
if traps
5
can
or
work.
6 years.
We've
and I had no
adjusted them
idea
so
you
that they
could just
come out
emote
100
and
ms later.
basically
So I'm gonna do it.
Nusha's inner
I don't know if
traps. I
people are
didn't
gonna be
know
able to
that.
see it because it's very very
Yeah.
subtle.
Very subtle.
yeah.
But the traps, like instead of because normally they would come out like you would do like your heavy and soft into guard break, they would come out at the exact same time as the feint. Now they come out 100 ms later than the feint.
Yeah.
So they should be, in paper at least, from what we've been doing, they should be fully unreactable. And so if this ends up working, and we're hoping that players are gonna be able to test it out more, we know we have like some insane reaction monsters that are playing the game that are able to react to this like consistently. So if these players are not able to do it, if this works out, it means that we can actually
Use them.
use them and rework Nusha in a way that keeps her trapped.
Exactly.
If they don't work, then we have to start opening up other avenues. And that's why this might seem like a very, very small change for this.
Yeah.
I know people are hyped for a Nusha rework, but I'm certain that you'd rather we take our time to do Nusha right
Oh,
and
yeah,
to do the
for
right
sure.
things and keep what is unique to Nusha
Yeah.
Yes.
rather than just going, well, we're just going to remove it and do something else and, the end.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's going to take a little bit
Yes,
longer than
I
probably some people saying. They go,
100%
yeah,
prefer to
this
take the time
season, next
with all
season,
these
whatever.
heroes.
But at the same time, with this, it's a step forward.
Exactly.
And
If
sort
this
of release
works,
the
nothing tells
characters
us we
that like
can't push
are
this
a little
live
bit
before we
stronger than
push Nusha
normal and then
rework.
nerf
Sure,
them. I
sure.
prefer
So
that.
that's the thing here.
Yeah, because that's the thing is Traps is unique to her. No one else has that. So,
It's so different, right?
like
so-
we need to
I
make
played
sure that it
Nusha
works.
for the first
Yeah.
time like a few
Well,
days
let me
ago,
throw it
and I
out
got
now,
freaking
so you
popped,
can see,
bro.
like, The indicator, like if you can see it, it almost just flashes very, very, very quickly. So it should be borderline impossible to react to. The attack itself is also 100 ms shorter. So that it still lands on the same timing and stuff, but reacting to it should be a lot more difficult. And so the thing is, you can still dodge, you can still do stuff like you could normally do, right? But then if you dodge, I can feint.
So they made it faster.
Parry, I can do feint to a
So they kind of made her
whatever.
faster.
So
Okay, cool.
that's kind of like the point here is really testing that aspect out, making sure we nail it, and then once we have the answer to that specific question, how do we shape what's going around Lucia here?
So that's why the feedback for this TG will be
Is
very
extremely
important.
important.
Yes.
Even though it seems like I said, a super tiny change, whatever.
No, it's the entry point for
Yeah, that's it. It's
the future of
right?
her.
So,
her
like I said, I'd rather we do this on a case-by-case basis, take our time, do it right, and get it to work instead of just shipping a rework that might be underwhelming and go, oh, yeah, people, we remove traps, and then, well, yeah, but we had to or whatever, so now we're testing it out. Does that work? Does that not work? And where do we go from here?
Gotcha.
I think that's it for testing grounds. When did he run again?
When do they run again, Vanessa?
They run April 6th to April 13th, I think.
Yeah.
That's good.
April 6th to April 13th. When is that? That's like 1, 2, 3. That's like a month from now, bro. Man, I just wish it was sooner. Hello, everybody. I'm back. So I just decided to add the webcam at the end of it, just so you have a little bit. You can see me. So, anyway, wow, I am absolutely amazed at the Lawbringer rework for sure. That's phenomenal. I would love to see y'all's comments in the comment section below. Lawbringer mains freaking unite. I'm so happy he got hyper armor. He has light chains, better openers. I do think the heavy parry into light is a little bit much, the 16 damage, and I think that they might nerf his damage a little bit, but who knows? But I'm also super excited for the Yorm rework as well. They really did a great job of nerfing the damage. I thought that was the biggest issue, in my opinion, of like the GB into like top or the left or right heavy, dealing like what 20. They said 24 damage. I thought it was 22 damage, but they nerfed the damage on that, and I'm really happy with what they did with Yorm and with Lawbringer as well. And Nusha, I'm excited for Nusha. Yeah, I was mainly excited for Lawbringer because he has not received a change in such a long time. But thank you all also very much for joining me. Hope you all have a blessed day. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I will see you guys and gals and brewskis and brewskets in the next episode. Peace. All right, keep being awesome, everybody. Have a blessed day.